everyone, alongside Danielle McCartan, I'm Cody Crushell. And Danielle, you look at last night and two losses that were tough in different ways for the Brown Bears down at the Palestra. Their worst loss against the Penn Quakers in 84 all-time meetings. For the Princeton Tigers, much closer but heartbreaking nonetheless after they battled back from down 9 to send it into overtime.
Yeah, and for tonight's game, these teams both play an exciting style of basketball. You have the Brown Bears who are coming into this game having scored the most points per game in the Ivy League, and yet you have the Princeton Tigers who came in last night and put up 86 points, which is incredible, and still lost the game. So both are high-scoring offenses, but if the Super Bowl taught us anything, Cody, it's that defense wins championships, and we'll see what happens here tonight.
And tonight we'll see two of the most sharpshooting guards in the Ivy League for the Princeton Tigers. Gabrielle Rush, 18 points last night, including 5 3-pointers. That matches a career high, and a couple of big ones down the stretch.
Yeah, Gabrielle Rush logged the most minutes so far for Princeton this season, and she just feels honored that her coaches have had the trust and faith in her to do that. And like you said, she hit 5 last night, which kind of puts her right outside the top 10 in Princeton's three-pointers. And with 11 seconds to go last night, she is CLUTCH clutch.
And for the Brown Bears, Shayna Mehta, top 3 in the Ivy League in scoring, assists, and steals. And you get the feeling she's not going to be held to what Penn held her to last night. That was 3 for 12 from the field.
Which is pretty uncharacteristic for both her and the Brown Bears offense in total as a microcosm. So the offense is going to run through Mehta tonight, and we're going to see how Princeton defense can defend against something like that.
Kicks it out, Rush, quick release, airballs it. Tigers unable to keep it in bounds. It'll go back to the Bears.
Looked like Rush rushed that just a little too much. She got her feet set and then just let it fly. She'll settle in though.
Back to Alarie, and this time aggressive off the backboard to give the Tigers the lead. And
aggressiveness is something that Courtney Banghart and I discussed about Bella Alarie. You know, last year she challenged her, and now just being in practice and making the plays run through her, you see it there.
Princeton pushing the tempo, threading the needle. Sydney Jordan from Carly Littlefield.
Yeah, and that was a great court vision to see her streaking down the center of the court there for that lay-in. Yeah, Princeton, they're a running gun team, but so is Brown, and we're going to see a lot of that tonight. I expected a high-scoring game. We'll see what happens.
Rush left wide open, that one in and out.
It'll fall. Those will fall eventually. Keep shooting, Gabrielle Rush. Isn't she hard to defend, Cody? Step back, puts it in from downtown.
Another look at that blocked shot, and then Bella. Look at those long strides by the 6'4" junior.
Yeah, nobody can catch up to her. Now, and we had talked about it, Gabrielle Rush and I, that, you know, doing that in practice made Bella Alarie really believe that she could be one of the best players in this league and in this game.
Out of bounds off Alarie.
Yeah, see, that's the thing you don't want as a rebounder, that volleyball tip there. You want to go up strong, 2 hands on the ball, and bring it down and put it back up.
Alarie would probably be a pretty good volleyball player, huh?
As a volleyball coach, I would love to have her on my team.
Up, Alarie can't get it to go, but some contact on the way up.
You know, and Gabrielle Rush told me earlier this week on the phone, she said that they are all, Princeton is still learning how good that Bella Alarie can be. And she said the defenses have to collapse on her, and you can't give her 45 points a night, and it is not fun not being on a team in practice. Yeah, and Rush also said that she's impossible to stop when she's finishing through double teams and hitting 3-pointers. And with a laugh, she added, defenses just don't know what to do with her. And one thing that Princeton did want to watch coming into this game was Brown's transition game. That is where they excel, and that's where they're going to need to make a big stop in order to win tonight, Princeton.
Take a look at that last bucket by Justine Gaziano. Last night held to a season-low 5 points, but this one on the mark.
Yeah, and she was just left wide open. You have to wonder, was there a mistake defensively? Whose man was that? Can't be giving them looks like that in a game like this. Love Gabrielle's rush. She told me she gets her feet set before the ball comes in, and that allows her to get that quick release like that. And that's something she's developed over time. Yeah, Gabrielle Rush is just, she in high school told me that she was a 3-point shooter in high school, and then, you know, defenses catch up to you a little bit, so she had to get a little creative in that mechanism, that quick release, and developing it. And Rush will be the first to tell you that she has come a long way. And she said freshman year she really didn't play at all. Last year we were averaging about 20 minutes a game, and here we are this year. She's getting them almost every single minute. And that was a great turnover there, created by that trap down low on the block.
And it's alumni weekend. We welcome back one of the best to ever wear the orange and black, Blake Dietrick, the starting point guard on that 31-1 team that won an NCAA tournament game back in 2014, 2015. Blake, always good to catch up. Welcome back to Jadwin.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. It's been a long time.
Blake Dietrick, not only an All-American in Princeton and an Ivy League Player of the Year, just coming off your first full season in the WNBA, so a lot to talk about today.
And a lot of your success, Blake, has been attributed to Coach Banghart, and she's still involved in your day-to-day. What's that like for you?
It's awesome to have a role model and a mentor like her. She's always there to give me a positive word if it's not going well, or to just pump me up when it is going well and keep me motivated, and she's fantastic.
And her pass is intercepted by Steves.
Yeah, you never want to make that cross-court pass, huh?
No, but
I talked to Coach Banghart, and she called you, she used the word big time with a laugh. Now, being at the big time, do you think Bella Alarie has got the chops to make it to the WNBA and do well?
I think she absolutely has the talent. I think if I were Bella, I would focus on getting as strong as I possibly can, and I know that that's tough for her. She's very lean naturally, which is fantastic. She's so athletic, but at that level, the physicality is really important, and so I think that's one of the primary things she can work on. But yes, absolutely, she has the talent to get there.
Now, Blake, talking about the visibility of the WNBA, I mean, I'm trying to find a finals game. I have to look at Game 1, ESPN News, Game 2, ABC, and Game 3, ESPN 2. This year, ESPN is increasing the exposure by 25% for the game. What will that do for the game itself in terms of visibility for the sport, finally?
Yeah, I think it's amazing, and I think we owe a lot of that to our leaders in our league. It's just incredible the way Maya Moore and Candace Parker and all those people have really put themselves on the line a little bit to try and stand up for our league and women's sports in general, and how much we deserve to be in the public eye.
And you would think more visibility and more fandom, more money, more opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. I would hope so. And I think it also helps to have some NBA backers. We have some big-time NBA players supporting us and saying that the game is the same and game respects game. And so that really helps us too.
As you're not back here that often.
No, I'm just going to be, between those things, I'm just going to be cheering my face off as much as I possibly can. We're sitting courtside, and it's incredible. This new Jumbotron, the new seats. Jadwin's had a little bit of a makeover, and it's pretty awesome.
As a player, and we went through all your stops, 4 international stops, a couple of WNBA stops, how often do you get to just sit back and enjoy the game as a fan?
It's really rare. Usually when I'm watching film, it's to scout the next team, or it's to watch myself and see how I can improve. So this is a very enjoyable experience for me.
Blake, last time we talked, you were worried about securing the number 2 seed, some home advantage in the playoffs. What's it look like for the Atlanta Dream fans in 2019?
I think we're bringing almost everybody back, and I think we're all a year wiser, a year more experienced, and with a year of playing together under our belts. I think it's going to be a really big year. Obviously, other teams are going to be really, really tough this season. DC's bringing almost everyone back as well. But yeah, I think we could give our fans a good run again.
Blake, as an inside-outside threat that Bella Alarie is, I watch her. I sometimes think Elena Delle. You've guarded against her. You see any similarities between the two?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's the athleticism and the guard skills and that height combined that is so deadly. And I think right now the team has been focusing on Bella on the interior just because she's unstoppable in this league. But as she gets to a higher level where people are just as tall and just as athletic as she is, having both of those games is going to be incredible.
Like, what can you talk about having the resolve, to keep working at it and to not give up, because it wasn't easy for you to make the WNBA lineup, and here you are signing a new contract.
Yeah, I think my mentality has always been that I'm never going to be perfect, and there's always room for improvement. So constantly trying to work on those things that need to get better is the only thing I can do. I can't control anybody else. I can't control if a coach decides to keep me on a roster or not. The only thing I can do is get better every time I go on the court. And so if I focus on that one day at a time, it's been working so far, so hopefully it'll keep working.
I forget the exact number. I think Courtney Banghart said it. It's something like 150 players total in the WNBA. Blake Dietrick, one of them.
144. 12 teams, 12 players.
There you go.
Cody, how cool was that, sitting here with a professional WNBA player calling a game like that?
And it's not like, you referenced Elena Delle, and it was, from her sophomore year in high school, okay, you knew she was going to be a high WNBA pick even when she decided to go to Delaware over UConn. Blake Dietrick, that wasn't the case. She played 8 minutes a game as a freshman. Really, her junior and senior year burst onto the scene, and somebody that Coach Banghart uses it as an example. She'll reference her most practice as someone who put in the effort and really worked hard to get where she is.
What a great success story. I'm really proud of her. And I covered the Liberty sometimes, and I did see her when the Atlanta Dream came to New York last summer.
This one a little bit closer than we expected early on, thanks in large part to Justine Gaziano.
Yeah, and at the outset, we thought that Shayna Mehta was going to be the one to watch, and Justine Gaziano is the one. That assist and 2 3-pointers here. Left wide open on that play. And then you have, on the Princeton side of the ball, Bella Alarie just dominating, absolutely dominating both from the perimeter and down low. And, Coach Bain said that we have to keep Bella Alarie off the glass. And here she is with 10 rebounds so far tonight already. And Cody Brown took a long time to come out after the half. I wonder what they were talking about in there. How to contain Alarie, probably. See Gabrielle Rush giving eyes. She was in her favorite spot. Here she comes in on the cut.
You expect Rush to take that shot instead. Feeds Bella Alarie with a miss down low.
And Steve said, no thanks to Haley Green, who was wide open on the block on that play. Puts a 3 down. Cody, I think the Brown team, they come into this game averaging a shot in under 10 seconds of possession. And I think Princeton did knock them off that game plan in the first half. It'd be interesting to see how quick they can get the shot off in the second half.
She buries another one, her 3rd triple of the night.
Her favorite spot on the court. I can't believe they're still allowing her to get a good look on that ball.
14 for Alarie, 13 for Rush, 8 for Jordan. 6 other Tigers have also checked into the scoring column.
Yeah, and that's a good distribution by Courtney Banghart. And back-to-back games, it's hard on the Ivy League schedule. So back-to-back, she's got good depth on her bench, and that's when you see it coming out here.
Rush looking to answer, and she drains it.
Incredible. Just keep feeding her.
Has it partially deflected, does not come close to the rim, and a shot clock violation against Brown. Good defense by the Tigers.
That's a great defensive stand there to run out that shot clock like that on a team that likes to get the ball up and off in 10 seconds or less. Princeton's coming out tonight with the 7th different starting lineup this season so far, because as Courtney Banghart was saying, they've just been so incredibly injured. But here, it's paying off in the sense that some of the young players can get a shot here. And Banghart said that they haven't had a 10 at practice in 3 months out of the 14. That is so inconsistent.
Makes it tough.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at this basket by the freshman Cunningham.
Coming off the bounce pass, it was just a catch and shoot, follow through, beautiful shot. She knew it was in as soon as she let it go. It was one of those kind.
Not a great shooting night for Bella Alarie, 7 of 20, but still her 5th straight double-double.
Which is insane to think. Shooting less than 50%, you still get yourself a double-double.
That's her media day shot with her WNBA squad, the Atlanta Dream.
Blake is beating out people that have been playing basketball forever. She's taking it to the highest level, overseas, and here she is with the Atlanta Dream for next year. Exciting.
Really cool where sports can take you. She's had a chance to live in Italy, Australia, Greece, and Spain.
Molto bene. Yeah, and that's the trend though, Cody. A lot of the professional players, in order to cut it, they need to play overseas. One, to get better, I guess, but 2, to substantiate their income.
Diano swatted out of bounds by Alarie.
I feel like we need to make a hashtag Bella SWAT or something, because she's good for how many a game? 2 or 3?
BellaBlock?
BellaBlock. I like it. Hashtag BellaBlock on that one. Gabrielle Rush was telling me how when she played T-ball, it's Women in Sports Day, Girls and Women in Sports Day, she was playing T-ball. She challenged herself, and she took the pitched balls, not the teased balls. And she was wondering, and she actually said she got mad at the girls that did not challenge themselves in taking the pitched ball. At 6 years old, she's pushing people to be better than status quo.
Conference play. Steves unmarked, top of the arc, and she drains it.
That was great ball movement to get a player wide open, reversing the floor there.
So that's her 16th rebound of the night.
Incredible. Again, going back to Coach Bain, that was the game plan. Keep Alarie off the glass there, and just not panning out for them tonight.
Another 20-point game for Bella.
And I don't think that's a play you see her make last year. I think that's evident of the growth of Bella Alarie. Littlefield just running out of room down there low.
Rush sets it up and buries it. Gabrielle Rush for the 2nd straight night, 5 triples.
It's okay to run out of room if you got Gabrielle Rush waiting in the wings, literally. Knock those down. Gabrielle Rush talked about that Penn game. She said that basically January was such a rough month for just having to sit on that loss for so long. It made them better.
26 days thanks to final exam break.
Yep, and it just pushed them at practice just to get better every single day. And you're right, that is circled on their calendar. I can guarantee it. And in the preseason polls, most voters had Princeton at #1 at the top of the division this season. Not many had Penn.
Gabrielle Rush has never hit 6 3-pointers in a game. She has 5 for the second straight night.
And 3 minutes and 38 seconds to do it. Let's see.
3-time first-team All-State Rush.
There it is.
There's number 6.
Yeah, you'd think Brown would want to push the pace, down by a couple scores late in the game. It's a little puzzling. They have no sense of urgency, it seems, Brown. A shooter like Rush, how do you leave her so wide open?
That's to close in because she has that quick hook.
Yeah, and that's part of the thing. I think they're so preoccupied with players like Bella Alarie. I mean, it's got a bend, don't break attitude, but Gabrielle Rush is really stepping up in that sense. And we thought last night Princeton scoring 89 points. Here they have 91 tonight.
91 points, impressive for the Tigers, but probably more concerning for Sarah Bain because in each of the last 5 games, the first 4 have been losses. Tonight angling that way as well. They've allowed at least 80 points.
Yeah, well, we knew they were the highest scoring team in the league, but we also knew that they gave up the most points in the league. That's a formula that Brown's going to need to work out. I mean, they need to keep the offense on the other team off the board and out of the basket in order to win some games here. What a sweet win here tonight for Princeton after last night's game. Overtime loss, heartbreaking loss. And in front of the home crowd, alumni night, nice ovation from the crowd.
We'll be back after this with our player of the game here on ESPN+. Right now, let's send it to the middle of the court. Danielle McCartan standing by with her player of the game, Gabrielle Rush.
Gabrielle, you've had quite a weekend. You have the alumni over our shoulder calling your name. I mean, you've been on a tear these past 2 games. What have you been seeing out there?
I mean, I would say it's a lot of fun playing with Bella, and I think the crowd that she's drawing is really showing that there's going to be open shots for other people, and I think my teammates have been doing a great job of finding me where I'm open and where I can succeed, so it's giving me a little bit of extra confidence in my shot. And having the alums here is so awesome.
And, first time in your career that you hit 6 3-pointers. I don't know if you know that or not. I mean, you were open all day long. How were you able to create some separation between you and the defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it was one thing we tried to commit to doing today was running in transition. So a lot of looks were in transition. We were getting the ball inside, and then it was coming back out, and I was open.
And you said you said defense was your weakest thing coming into Princeton as a freshman. You've held Meta and Graziano to a minimal 15 for 40 tonight. How can you speak to the defensive effort of the team tonight?
I mean, I think it was definitely a team effort, and everyone was clogging up the driving lanes and then closing out to shooters, and we just weren't giving it to them where they wanted it the most.
And it's hard to tune out the alumni over our shoulders, so go join them, and great job. And
Thank you so much.
Princeton shooting 50% as a team. Gabrielle Rush had hit 5 3-pointers in a game 5 times for the first time in her career.